Welcome everybody back to the desert. It is high noon once again here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. And you know it's going to be a good day when the hot dog line is already long out there. If you come to South Point, there's the hot dogs out here. They're $1.50. That has all the action right now. The sports book's going to heat up soon. Trust me, we got baseball, we got college football, and we have a lot for today's show. It's Tuesday, October 10th, episode 2. And we appreciate you joining us live on our YouTube channel. Mom, did you figure out the link today? I think she did. This is good news. Mom, if you did, hit the live comment. Say something about my outfit or how my hair looks. I don't know. Yesterday, we got a lot of comments about my haircut. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Coming up on today's show, live here in the desert, it's Punchlines, punches for the laughs, coming up, and lines is for gambling, or live in Nevada every show. We have the lovely betting analyst, Alex White, will be making an appearance on the show right here in the studio, and an old friend of mine who I used to do a podcast with about sports gambling. He's an NFL legend, ESPN. He has his own radio show in Houston. Mr. Sean Salisbury will be joining us. He's going to talk Astros. He's going to talk hockey. He's a big hockey guy. He loves college football. He's going to be great. So Sean will be up in a few minutes. But joining us, as who he does on every show, and when I say every show, I mean 2, it's our producer, Ryan McCormick. He adds a little spice to the show. Ryan, what's happening? You're in a good mood today, I noticed.
Yeah, always a good night to watch the Packers lose.
Yes,
especially
he's a
to the local
Bears
team.
Fan, so anytime a division foe can lose, you're very happy.
Always.
And I lost last night. I thought the Packers would score at least 2.5 touchdowns. They did not, so that was humiliating. Then I came down to the sports book to get the new sheets. I locked myself out of my room, so that was humiliating. So I had a bad night. But today's going to be better. Today's going to be a better day. And why don't we start off, as we did yesterday, with Frank's Fast Takes. Let's do it. Wow, I like the music. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Coming up first is Please No Autographs. Let me explain this to you, ladies and gentlemen. I was in the sports book yesterday here at South Point. I like to hang out here. The people are great. It's the best sports book in Vegas. So a guy comes up to me and says, "Oh my God, are you that guy from TV?" Now I immediately think, Ryan, oh, he must recognize me from something I've done in the past. I'm getting right. By the way, maybe it's the first show. Maybe it's the first show of Punchlines. Maybe he was watching it live on YouTube or here in the casino. Now, I've done a lot of stuff. A lot of people know me maybe from Street Smarts, which was a game show I hosted, shot in Vegas. There's a 20-year-old promo shot where they made me look very young in that blue sweater. I've done some movies. Oh, who could forget Ginger Dead Man 2, Passion of the Crust? That is a classic. That picture next to it, that's me from The Wishmaster. Would you guys like me to do my entire scene from The Wishmaster right now? Here we go. Hey, buddy, are you okay? There you go, ladies. That was it right there. Let me do it on camera. Hey, buddy, you okay? That got me my SAG card. Pharmacy customer number 2. The other slide. Let's see. What do we got next? Yes, that is me. Maybe he saw me in the Creep Show holiday special, the Christmas special, which will be on Shudder again this year. Maybe he recognized me from that. No, ladies and gentlemen. This guy who I thought recognized me from some of my past work, maybe some of my stand-up work, he thought I was this guy, the Wendy's commercial guy. This isn't the first time. This is happening all the time, right? You know this guy, the guy who he holds up he does the double cup of Joe. Yeah, that's who he thought I was. He goes, "You the Wendy's guy?" I'm like, "No, I'm not the Wendy's guy. That guy's like 100 pounds heavier than me, younger than me, although I think I look better than him." I've gotten this on social media. I'm not the Wendy's guy, okay? I don't mind Wendy's. I have nothing against Wendy's, but I'm not the fry guy. All right, let's go to Fast Take number 2. Number 2, Vegas, baby, Vegas. Vegas,
we're going to Vegas, Mike.
Vegas! You think we get there by midnight?
Money, we're going to be up 500 by midnight.
Ah, Vegas!
Vegas, baby.
John Favreau and Vince Vaughn in the classic Swingers. If you haven't seen Swingers, what are you doing? After the show, watch Swingers. Vegas, baby, Vegas. The reason I want to talk about it, look, I'm new to the city. I just want to say, do you people realize how much is going on in Vegas right now? I mean, sure, there's always the casinos, but we have coming up. Look at the stuff that's coming up here in Vegas. Tonight, the Golden Knights are raising the banner. The Stanley Cup will be in the house, I'm sure. Golden Knights, Stanley Cup champions. What else is happening in Vegas? How about this? The South Point 400. That's not far from the South Point Hotel. That is this weekend in Vegas. This is the time to be in Vegas. The Sphere. U2 opening its residency. Is that not the coolest arena in the world? Hello, world. By the way, could we get my picture on there? Can we get me or just put the Wendy's guy up there? I don't care. And then what else is happening in Vegas? Oh, I don't know. Just F1, which, by the way, I understand the locals aren't happy about. Ryan, locals don't like that this F1 race is
The construction is ridiculous.
Now, what
taking
are they
up way too much
Is
space.
it just the seats, the scaffolding?
It's everything. They have to build the track. They have to tear up medians in the road.
So wait, they're not using the actual streets. They're putting down new.
They have to. The cars can't drive on our pavement.
Why not?
They can't put up with it.
Too many fluids? Is that what it is?
The tires can't deal with it. They can't.
Oh my God! All right. Well, I know the Bellagio fountain's blocked. I know people can't wait for this F1 race to get over. But everyone's going to watch this thing. It's going to be awesome. And what else does Vegas have going for it? In a couple months, the Super Bowl is going to be here, ladies and gentlemen. So right now is the time to be in Vegas. Super Bowl 58. Alex is applauding for it. Why not? Super Bowl 58. There's a rumor going around, this conspiracy theory. I don't know if you've heard about this, but the colors in the slide will tell you which teams. The past 2 Super Bowls, whatever teams have played, their colors have been in the slide. And it looks like, red and purple there? So a lot of people are saying it could be the Niners and the Ravens. I don't know. That's just a conspiracy. Last year it was green and red, and we had the Chiefs and Eagles. All right. So anyway, Vegas is the best. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to take 4. Yes, we'll do it live. And we are live. All right, Bill O'Reilly is famous, of course, for saying we'll do it live. And the reason we're doing it live is because we like having you guys watching us live right now. We know you're on the YouTube channel. We urge you to do that. What's up?
Ann's going to play the video.
Oh, we're going to play it.
And that is it for us today. And we will leave you with I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
Bill O'Reilly, that's the greatest meltdown in history, ladies and gentlemen. He knows what live TV is all about. So do we now. So listen, we want to urge you guys. We really appreciate everyone tuning in yesterday. We had a lot of live people with comments. We want comments today. And please click the subscribe button. There's lots of great shows. You got Sports by the Book coming up with Jeff and Vinny later today. We want you guys to become regulars. So please, punchlines, make sure you click subscribe and live comments. Ryan, do we have any live comments right now?
Not yet. Nope.
Not yet. All right, you could be the first. If you're the first, I guarantee you we will read your live comment. Where are all my friends? Bob, Mike, Christian, Gina. Where's my friends? Courtney. Where is everybody? All right, we'll do live comments. All right, skip the live comment. We'll do it live. We're not doing it live. All right, let's just get to the show. We have a very special guest. She is a betting analyst. She's going to tell you all about herself. She's new to this show because it's only episode 2. It's the lovely Alex White, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I have to add in, you did forget one important thing that is happening in Las Vegas.
Oh, my God, what?
It is the WNBA Finals, and the Las Vegas Aces are going for back-to-back.
I apologize to the ladies. Right, exactly. Yes. When is the next game? What's the series at right now?
It is 1-0. Aces are up, and the second game is tomorrow. And you have to understand the WNBA is so much fun to watch right now.
Yeah.
Because you've got 2 super teams.
Unbelievable. That's it. It's the Liberty
it's them
and the
right
Aces,
now.
right?
Yes, yes. So, a lot of fun.
Okay, well, I forgot that one thing. All I'm saying is Vegas, baby, Vegas. This is the place to be right now.
Just adding on to it, yeah.
Yeah, and come out and see us at the South Point. We're live every day here at high noon, as you know. And you know what? The first person who says they'll be there on a certain day, maybe we'll even we'll have you as a live studio audience. A studio audience of 1 to laugh at all my funny takes. So, Alex, we're going to start with nailed it or failed it. I already talked about my fail. I failed last night on the Green Bay Packers over 2.5 touchdowns. I thought they were going to come out and they were going to dominate this team. Jordan Love looked comfortable last week. But no, they only got 1 touchdown, and the Raiders won. Congratulations to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Big win for the Raiders. They have been very inconsistent this year. I stayed away from that game. I didn't know what to do. It was a pick 'em for a reason, and then a lot of money came in on the Raiders. They ended up being a 2.5-point favorite, and they got it done.
Now, you're rooting for the Raiders because you were born and raised here. Now, I want you to tell people about yourself, Alex, and your Vegas history, please.
I'm born and raised here. My grandfather was a sports bettor and brought my dad here when he was in high school. My dad started betting around that time, and he's been doing it ever since. He actually made the line for casinos for a long time, sold that company. He's on the other side, so he is technically a professional sports bettor now. And works for CBS Sports HQ. And, yeah, I followed in his footsteps. I've been doing this for the last 3 years, and I love it. He taught me how to handicap, make my own numbers, compare it to the book, and it's great. And working with Vinny, it's funny. They have so much in common.
Yeah.
I mean, they've known each other a long time, and they know my grandfather as well.
Unbelievable.
So,
it's a tight-knit community in Vegas amongst the sports bettors.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
That's
definitely.
Unbelievable. Now, do you remember placing your first sports bet? Do you remember the first bet you made?
I really don't, and it's a shame because I know people have great stories and like when they got started, and the guys have even better ones about making bets with dice and stuff when they're really young. But I don't have any of those.
I can tell my story real quick before we get to your picks for the night. My first bet that I placed was in high school. I decided to bet. I love the Miami Dolphins. I'm a Steelers fan, but I like Dan Marino, right? Because he played at Pitt, Steeler guy, or Dolphins. And the Dolphins were playing the Niners in the Super Bowl. So I bet a friend of mine, Don, I bet him $5. Now, this was, it was in January when the Super Bowl was played in January. I used my Christmas money for this, right? The money I got from relatives. So I bet him $5. And then I said, to make it interesting, why don't we make it $1 point differential? Okay. So this game, if it's close, it'll only be a couple bucks. If you don't remember correctly, Joe Montana and the Niners blew out Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins. So I ended up having to give him like $26. That was my Christmas money. That was the first bet. That's sour at first. So I was like, I'm never going to bet sports again. But then, of course, I did. And here we are now. I've made many, many bets since. But you always remember the losses, don't you? Remember the big losses? But that was my first loss. So, never do. That was at the lunchroom table. It was kind of embarrassing. I had to pay him out. And I remember him and everybody going, oh, my God. And I was like counting out like $27. So
went from 5 to 27 very easily.
Right, if you can check the score on that Super Bowl, if anyone can check, I know it was 5 plus the point differential. We're talking early 80s. All right. So anyway, Alex, nailed it or failed it? You want to talk about Sunday? Is that what you want to talk about? You had a nailed it and failed it?
Yes. So I gave out 2 overs on our show on Sunday, Sports by the Book with Jeff and Vinny, and so my first one was Lions and Panthers over 44. I just thought that number was too low. I made a case. I said, we know the Lions offense is going to come out, which they did. In 3 quarters, they scored 14 points, 3 of the 4 quarters. So they did their job. I also said, if we were going to see the defense kind of fall back a little bit, this would be the game. Got 2 road games coming up here. They gave up 24 to Bryce Young and the Panthers. Yeah. So that over.
Nice.
I feel like I nailed that.
Nailed it. You nailed it. That's a nailed it. Nailed it. Check mark. Green check mark. Nailed it. We got a graphic and everything. Look at that, Alex.
Love that. Okay. Failed it. I gave Miami Dolphins. I gave that over as well. So it was interesting. The team who was averaging the most points and the team who was averaging the least, the New York Giants, I thought they could do a little bit better than 16. I actually only needed 17 out of them. So I gave out over 47.5. I made it 51, but if Vinny was here, he would tell us the opening number. I'm sure it was lower than that and moved up a little bit. So
you needed 17 from the Giants, and you got 16.
That's right.
1 point.
Oh, man.
Yep, it landed right there at 47. I watched the whole fourth quarter, like, come on, 1 field goal, either of you? And no. So
that happened to me on Sunday. Yeah, the Vikings-Chiefs over was 52.5. It was a 47 with like 13 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. I'm like, all right, I just need 1 score. I need a touchdown, 27-27 game. Oh, my God, we go into OT. I can just sit back and enjoy it. Never got that late score.
No, and that first half looked like it was going to go over easy.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. All right.
The Chiefs have been doing that a lot this season. You got to watch out. They come out fast, and in that second half.
No team has burned me more over the past few seasons than the Chiefs. Because they have those big lines, and you're like, oh, well, they're a dominant team, and then they'll win. But Mahomes will always do something at the end just to win, and they don't cover. And then, of course, how about him running and taking a knee at the yeah, that hurt a lot of people.
Against the Jets? Oh, yeah.
I would have loved to have been in the sportsbook here and heard the reaction of that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. All right, so we got a lot of action today. Sean Salisbury is coming up in about 17 minutes. He's going to talk a lot about baseball. So I know people are loving these Conference USA games, but we're going to talk about hockey first, right? You're a big hockey fan, and it's a special night here in Vegas, right?
It is. Opening night, and the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Golden Knights, they get to host the Seattle Kraken here. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of people down there.
Yeah.
They'll be at T-Mobile. They'll be around T-Mobile. They'll be watching the games all around there. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to go over that 6 goals. I mean, the atmosphere is going to be great, and one thing we know about Seattle is they play really fast.
Yeah.
And I know Bruce Cassidy, head coach of the Golden Knights, he's more of a defensive-minded coach. He instilled that in the players. They did fantastic last year, clearly. They won the cup.
They did pretty well.
But they can skate with anyone. And when they see another team come out fast, they match that.
Right.
We also have our 2 best defensemen out, Alec Martinez and Zach Whitecloud. So I like the over 6.
So listen, you go to a hockey game, see them hoist the banner, right? The Stanley Cup's going to be in the house. I got to think they're
Absolutely. It was actually at Allegiant last night for the Raiders game. Did you see that?
Eichel who brought it or whoever it was?
I think the whole team was there.
Oh, the whole
they
team.
they lit the torch. Yeah.
I saw them at halftime. They lit the torch at the beginning of the game. I actually was lucky enough to have you ever held the Stanley Cup?
I got a picture with it.
Okay.
It came to the Las Vegas ballpark, so some of our staff there got to go up and take a picture with it. But
I'm going to tell my story real quick.
please.
I played at WDVE. It's a radio station in Pittsburgh. It's the #1 FM morning show I was on as a regular. And Phil Bork, who works for the Penguins still doing commentating. Phil Bork came on the show as a regular guest, and we played softball every Monday. So it was the Monday after the Penguins win their first Stanley Cup. They went back-to-back, 90, 91, 92, whatever. And he brought it to the softball game, and we knew. Everyone's like, he's bringing the Stanley Cup to our softball game.
Oh, my God.
So I have a diehard friend, Bill, my friend Bill Neovis, who will be in Vegas this weekend. I'm seeing him Friday for dinner. He's a massive guy. He literally has the 5th longest tenure in Penguin season ticket history. Like,
Wow.
Yeah. I forgot. We skipped the hockey take, didn't we?
We still have 2 more games. We'll get back.
Yeah, we'll go back to it. Yeah, exactly. Right. But anyway, so he brings the Stanley Cup, and I got to hold the Stanley Cup, take a picture with it, and of course, someone dumped some booze in it at the time, and we took a sip out of it. So I got to drink out of the Stanley Cup with Phil Bork. My friend Phil comes down, gets Phil to sign a bunch of Sports Illustrateds that he auctioned off for charity. But it's amazing. It's really amazing to hold it.
So let me ask you this, because somebody was just talking about this, and they were talking about some of the teams take for granted and they don't really understand what it means to win the Stanley Cup. And they were saying, like Tampa Bay, they didn't like how they celebrated. It wasn't long enough. They didn't like how the teams in California celebrated.
Right.
It wasn't long enough. It was kind of just like, yeah, we did it. Here we go. Do you think Vegas did a good job?
I think they did, right? I mean, because did they assign it to each player?
They assigned it to each
That's
player.
what the
It went
Penguins do.
everywhere. If you follow their social media, it was super fun. You got to watch it. Yeah.
And what was
Travel
cool when
everywhere
the
with them.
Penguins won their back-to-back in the early 90s, it was the last ring. They were the last name on the one ring, and then they had to add the ring, so they were the first one on that ring.
That's very
Which
cool.
eventually they have to be replaced, right? The bottom ones and everything. So they'll be on there forever. But, yeah, it's a thrill. And just to see it, if you're a fan going to the game tonight, to be in the same building with the Stanley Cup, it's the best trophy in sports, right? And are they going to hoist a banner? They're going to hoist a banner, right? Are you going to any hockey games? Are you a hockey fan, Ryan?
I am a hockey fan. My dad and stepmom are actually going to tonight's opener.
They're going to tonight's opener?
Yep, we had season tickets their first year, and so we were there for the inaugural game, and that was just a whole moment that the city rallied around. And for them to be able to go tonight and raise a banner next to that 58 banner, it's going to be something special.
That's going to be tremendous. And our two teams are facing off tonight in the opener, right? You
Yes,
got
they
Connor
are.
Bedard making his debut, the savior of hockey coming in for Chicago. It's the Blackhawks and the Penguins tonight.
Yes, it is.
We should make a bet that we have to make a bet.
Friendly wager?
What's that?
I said a friendly wager?
That if the Penguins win, do you have any Penguin? You wouldn't have any Penguin gear.
I do not have any Penguin gear.
We're going to have, by the end of the show, we're going to talk. We're going to have a few minutes at the end of the show. Why don't you think of a friendly wager we could do that we can pay off tomorrow
All right.
based on who wins? Penguins.
I'll be happy to see you wear a Blackhawks jersey tomorrow.
Yes.
Are we gonna give Ryan anything, like a half a goal or something?
Do you feel you need it, or are you confident in your team? Alex, shush.
All right. So, if the Hawks lose, but Connor Bedard has 2 points, we call it a push.
Okay, yeah, fine. Deal.
Okay.
Wow, this is a complicated bet here. We're
Wow,
doing, but okay.
Connor Bedard, 2 points.
What's that? He has to have at least 2 points.
2
Wow,
points.
you're
So
saying
goal and assist, 2 assists, 2
By the way,
points.
he looks like he's 12. He looks like he's 12 years old. I don't know if it's
19.
I'm getting older or if it's the Wendy's guys in
19
my head
years
right
old.
now. But Connor Bedard looks like he's 12. Look, there's 2 other matchups tonight, and Alex, we want to get your take on these 2 games, right? So we already have the Knights over.
We have the Knights
and
over.
You also like something on the Ning and the Preds.
That's right. You guys gave out for the Blackhawks Penguins. We have that one covered. And then so I like the Predators today, and that is because Vasilevsky is out for Tampa Bay, one of the best goalies in hockey.
Mm-hmm.
He did have surgery. He'll be out for a few months, which also leads me to start looking at some Eastern Conference futures. Might have to look at Toronto, Carolina. There's some really good teams in that Eastern Conference. And without Tampa Bay in the way, well, I mean, he will be back, but I think it's a good place for either of those teams. So I like the Predators tonight, plus 140.
All right, Predators tonight. So you got the Predators, you got the Knights, you got 2 hockey picks, and you have our hockey pick. This is good.
We do have a live comment.
We do have a live comment. Let's go to the live
comment.
We'll do it live. All right, what's the live comment?
Bob Dell wants to know how should he or our viewers be betting the Orioles Rangers game tonight.
Wow. We can talk. We're going to talk baseball definitely with Sean Salisbury because he's a big Astros guy. But Bob is a friend of mine from high school. He's a DJ on the radio, WPOC in Baltimore, #1 afternoon show, country radio station. The Orioles right now are really, they're down 2-love going into Texas. So I don't know, Bob. Texas home field advantage today. I like the Rangers today. The Orioles weren't supposed to be there, right? We talked about this yesterday with Denny Nagel. Orioles lost 110 games a couple years ago. So did the Rangers. But the Rangers, they spent a lot of money. They spent a lot of money on Simeon and Seager, right? So they were stacked. The Orioles did it through the GM, Mike Elias. He built that team up with great draft picks and all the youngsters really having a career year. So I don't think it's Baltimore's year. But you look, in the postseason in baseball, I look at managers. Bruce Bochy, he won 3 rings with the Giants. I got to go Texas. And the line currently on that game, I think was it was 125 earlier, but I think, it's 140, minus 140. I would go Rangers minus 140. The over is 9.5. It's not Baltimore's year. I think next year, Baltimore, they're going to learn a lot from this playoff experience. But I would take the Rangers tonight, Bob Dell. Thanks for chiming in with our first ever live comment during a show. Thank you, Bob. I knew I could count on you. Sorry, Alex. Sorry about that.
No, that was fantastic.
Yeah. Now the A's are coming here. Are you a baseball fan? Are you an A's fan?
I'm a huge baseball fan, so I actually grew up on the diamond. My dad coached both of my brothers throughout their high school, followed their college careers, and one of them was drafted by the Twins. So I'm a huge baseball fan. I work for the AAA baseball team, the Aviators.
Right. I saw that.
Yes. So, but I don't bet MLB baseball. I don't do enough research and put enough time into that sport, and kind of gives me a sport to actually get to enjoy.
Sit back and relax.
Right. Exactly.
And I appreciate the honesty. You're you're not going to give up picks and everything.
You don't want
you want to focus. You want quality over quantity, baby. I played baseball in high school 1 year at North Allegheny, and then the coach in the 10th grade, he said, Frank, we have to let you go. You're too much of a clown on the bench. You're always trying to make everyone laugh. And I went, I was a crush, and I'm like, a clown. Maybe I'll become a comedian. And then that worked. So thank you, nice. Coach Woods, from cutting me from the JV team. So listen, I talked about this yesterday. This is the greatest sports gambling time of the year, October. We have so much going on. We have baseball. We have hockey starting tonight. Basketball's coming. Baseball playoffs. Of course, the NFL. But also college football. And Conference USA is trying to take over. They're taking away the Maction midweek games. And especially Jacksonville State. They've been playing a lot. And there are a couple games tonight that I know you want to talk about, and you have a couple picks to talk about. So let's talk about, and it sounds so weird, Tuesday night football action.
I know, right?
I love it.
It is great.
Yeah, it's great. Anything to bring more action here to the South Point, we love it. So come down, watch college football tonight. But what do you want to talk about? Which games?
Well, you brought up Jacksonville State, and that is one I want to talk about. I don't have the live odds right now, but I got them at +7, and that is because 2 very good teams. Now, I know Liberty is really good. They're 5-0, but Jacksonville State is also 5-1, and they are 4-1-1 ATS. I think this is going to be a really good game for you to actually watch on your Tuesday night.
The Jacksonville State games have been highly entertaining all year. So, they're really fun to watch. So, we urge you to watch. Yeah.
So, I'm getting 7 points to cover. So, that's one of them. And I also like a road dog, and that is Louisiana Tech.
La Tech.
Yes.
All right. And they are getting 3 points.
Getting 3 points against Middle Tennessee. They played Western Kentucky last week. If you watched that game, the first half was brutal. They got behind very early.
Okay.
Second half, they outscored Western Kentucky 21-0. Love teams like that. They have the fight. They're going to do everything they can for their coach. And we should get their starting quarterback back, Hank Bachmeier, I believe it is.
Okay. Just call him Hank.
Hank,
the QB.
Our guy.
Hank. What a great football. You don't meet a lot of Hanks anymore, really.
That's
you don't meet a lot of Franks either, but I like Hank.
That is true, too.
Hank and Frank.
And so he was active last week to be the backup. Haven't heard anything about whether or not he is playing. Going with the fact that we think he is. Louisiana Tech +3.
Okay. And Jacksonville State, like I said, I've watched a few of their games. This is Rich Rodriguez, who used to coach at Michigan, used to coach at WVU. Which I watched a lot of WVU games. My sister's boyfriend's a big Mountaineer. How about them ears? And a highly entertaining football. This game, listen, if you're not a baseball guy or hockey guy, watch that game tonight. That should be highly entertaining. But I think the special moment tonight here in Vegas is going to be, how hot is that ticket to get over there to see this game tonight, the Golden Knights?
Oh, yeah. It's a very hot ticket.
And
Pretty pricey, I'm sure.
Pretty pricey. I know.
Several
I had a friend of
$1,000s.
mine go, man, you should go to that game. I'm like, yeah, I should, but I don't have a ticket, and I know it's going to be a crazy amount. But I want to talk about hockey, and one more thing about hockey and their players. What I've encountered, Denny Nagel's a baseball player. They're great guys. Football guys are great. There's something special about hockey players, though. They really appreciate the fans more than anything, right?
Yes,
Now,
they do.
They really, and they're the nicest guys. They're great to fans. And I wanted to point out something that the Penguins do, who are going to beat the Chicago Blackhawks tonight and hold Connor Bedard to only 1 point. I was going to talk about this in the Fast Takes, but the Penguins do something great. They deliver their season tickets. Do you know about this?
I saw that on social media.
It's
It's
unbelievable.
fantastic.
They have their players deliver the whole season of tickets to people's front door. Now, my friend Bill, who I talked about before, and I'll see Friday night, I think he's the 4th longest season ticket holder in Penguins currently, since like 1970. He's taken me to a ton of games. So he's like royalty there. So he got a call a few years ago. Hey, look, we're going to be delivering your tickets. Players coming. We're not going to tell you who it is. It's going to be between like 12 and 1. He's like, all right. So he's out the window with his 2 sons. They can't wait to see who it is. It's a win-win, whoever it is. And getting out of the limo with camera crew, Sidney Crosby. I'm getting chills just thinking about it because the video he showed me, Crosby comes up, and not only does he deliver the tickets, he hangs out. He takes pictures with the neighborhood. He plays hockey with the kids, signs sticks. I mean, it's just an unbelievable tradition that I think for all season ticket, what a great idea hockey has. The Penguins have. Everyone should do it.
Yes, they should. That is awesome.
And I was thinking, now, if other teams did it in professional sports, let's say the Patriots did it, okay? And if Mac Jones came to your door and delivered the tickets, they'd probably get intercepted by a neighbor. You can laugh at that, Alex. You can laugh out loud. Maybe if Lamar Jackson from the Baltimore Ravens, if he delivered season tickets, you know what? He'd get you all excited, and then he just wouldn't show up. That's another one. And then last but not least, because comedy comes in threes, ladies and gentlemen, if Aaron Rodgers came and delivered season tickets for New York Jets fans, he would only bring you tickets for the first game. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, because he was only played 4 plays right there. That's ticket humor right there. All right, let's recap Alex's picks today.
Okay.
Again, she has, you got 4 numbers for us, right? 4?
I do, yes.
Right.
So 2 hockey. So we've got over in the Knights game against the Kraken.
Okay.
We've got the Predators plus 140, Louisiana Tech plus 3, and Jacksonville State plus 7.
All right, those are winners right there. Get to the sports book down here right now. That sounds like a good parlay. I'm going to parlay all 4 of those right now. The most interesting bet, obviously, is going to be between Ryan and I, though.
That's
on this,
right.
On the Penguins and Blackhawks tonight. Alex, we really appreciate you stopping in here and joining us. We know you're with Jeff and Vinny all the time. When are you on with those guys again?
So Saturday and Sunday,
Okay.
an hour before kickoff. Saturday is 8 to 9, Sunday 9 to 10.
And that's Sports by the Book. That's the other show. That's the anchor show here right now. Jeff and Vinny do such a great job. Those guys are awesome. So make sure you check out Sports by the Book. We're just getting started. We have another guest coming up. Sean Salisbury is going to be here. And then Connor, I just called you Connor. I called him Eric
I've got multiple
yesterday.
names.
His name is Ryan. Why did I call you Eric yesterday?
I couldn't tell you.
Am I mistaking you for someone famous? Is there someone, I get the Wendy's guy. Who do you look like? Is there anyone famous?
The only person I've gotten is Jesse McCartney.
Jesse McCartney.
I can see
Pop
that.
singer Jesse I see that. Alex, do you get anyone famous?
I've gotten Jamie Lynn Spears, Britney Spears' little
sure,
sister.
Yeah. Who's on Dancing with the Stars currently?
Okay, I'll have to check it out. And I've also gotten Aaron Andrews, but I think that's more because of, me going into sports.
There you go. And I think the hair too. Yeah, I
hair
can see the
lovely,
look.
yeah.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, thank you, Alex, for being here.
Thank you
We're going
so
to take a short
much.
break, and we're going to come back with my man, Sean Salisbury. I'm wearing the shirt, Sean frickin' Salisbury. He's the man. He's going to be with us live right after this ad. We'll be right back. Alex, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show, every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grand View Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
All right, Frank Nicotero back with punchlines. How great was Alex White? That was so much fun. She gave you 4 picks, ladies and gentlemen. And not only are you going to look at how those do tonight, but you now know that Ryan McCormick, called him by his right name, and I have a bet going with the Penguins and the Blackhawks tonight. That's going to be exciting. Now, if this loses, do I have to wear a Chicago? Do I have to wear some?
Yeah, I'll bring a Blackhawks jersey.
I have to wear a Blackhawks
jersey.
If Bedard gets 2 points, or if
the Hawks win.
Or the Hawks win. So you can win 2 different ways because the Penguins are favorites, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll do that. Plus, it fills a day of wardrobe for me since I have limited wardrobe with me.
There you go.
I'm not rooting for your team.
I do have to mention, Alex was being very humble. She won last year's Last Man Standing at Station Casinos, and that wasn't brought up at all.
We didn't get to it. I know, and I apologize to Alex. She won the last man. There was like 3,000 entrants into this football picking competition. And
College football. Yep.
College football.
Yep.
And, well, we can talk about this next time she's here because I hope she comes back. She won $100,000. I wanted to ask her what she did with the money, but she's off. Alex, she's got to go.
She's in every contest around town now.
Is she really?
Pretty much.
Are we working on Sean? I know Sean's coming. Oh, we got him. All right, we got Sean. Oh, I got to put my headphones on for Sean. All right, coming into the studio, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be very exciting. By the way, I'm holding a pen. I don't know if you know this. Do you know about this, Ryan? When ex-athletes become sportscasters, when they go to school for it, they always have a pen. They always have a pen in their hand.
I did not know that.
Makes them look smarter. It's a thing, and I'm doing it now.
So kind of why I'm wearing my glasses?
Yes, it makes you look smarter,
okay.
And it makes you look like Jesse McCartney. I've gotten Fred. I get Dave Coulier the most. Cut it out from Full House. I get that.
I could see that one.
Yeah, I get Dave. Now it's the Wendy's guy. Dave Coulier, Wendy's guy, Fred Savage. All right, we have Sean. Is that correct? All right, let's bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a friend of mine who I've gotten to know. I've never met in person, but during the pandemic, we did a podcast together, and he's the big man on campus in Houston right now. He's an Astros fan. He's a football fan. He's a hockey fan. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Salisbury. Sean, bring him in. There he is. Sean, what's up, buddy?
I'm good. How's my lighting? I want to make sure my modeling career takes off on this call. Do I need it clear? I mean, is one side of my face? What can I do?
I think you look good, man, because you're a rugged guy. You could get like an REI contract or something. You look awesome.
I just don't understand. I try to do it outdoors, a little ambiance, But
weren't you redoing your whole outdoor thing? Didn't that?
Yeah, I got all those big old. I got a bunch of big double tap beer. I've got the screens that go down, 4 70-inch TVs mounted, refrigerator out here, grill, all the stuff that you want every day. So
I think
so I got a humidor, all that stuff, brothers. I love my Saturdays and Sundays are pretty fun, man. I'm a simple guy, but when it comes to this, I got to have it, Frank.
And and Ryan, I just found our first Punchlines on the Road tour show. We're going to go to Sean. We're going to Sean's house in Houston. So, Sean, thank you for being on the show, man. I'm wearing my Sean frickin' Salisbury shirt that I wear all the time that I got on Amazon.
I friggin' love it. And the funny thing about it is you got one and I don't. Jeez.
I'm telling you,
let's market that. We'll sell like 4 of them, and it'll all be family. Nobody else wants one, but thank you.
I'm going to get you to sign this next time. Well, the first time I see it, we've never met. So listen, you're talking to us live from Houston. I know you're a man with a lot of demands, and we got you for like another 10, 15 minutes here. So we're thankful we have you. Let's talk about your Astros, man. What do you think?
You know what? Different than last year, Frankie. You and I have talked about this in our gambling world and stuff. passion's still the same with the Astros fans, but the lineup concerns them with Maldonado. The constant, as fans do, we find things to bitch and complain about. We do instead of the good stuff that this team had to go on a roll and win 5 of the last 6, the last part of the season, win it a different way than they have in the past to win the division.
Yeah.
And so they're great. They are great, Frankie, under duress and pressure. They kind of lollygag when they're playing against teams they're supposed to beat during the regular season. Now, this has been their time, 6 straight ALCS championship games. They've been in those series. If they get to the World Series, that's 3 in the last 4 years. Dusty's done a fantastic job. So they're loaded, and their lineup is friggin' loaded from 1 to 9 when Yainer Diaz is in there. Brantley now is healthy. So they're exhausting to get through. They just are. If you're an opposing pitcher, it's fatigue. Because the 9th guy, if they're all playing, Pena, who was the ALCS and the MVP in the World Series last year, both, he'd be hitting the 9 hole if, in fact, the lineup that you want in the hitting order is there. But I think the key today is Christian Javier on the mound. Yeah. Last year he was phenomenal. This year he's been a Dow Joneser. Astros should win the series, but the hitting's been inconsistent. Keep an eye on the first 5 guys in this lineup, how often they put the ball in play. And how Sonny Gray pitches them. But if they do what they're supposed to do, they will be in the ALCS with a chance to get back to the World Series. I still think they're the most feared team in the American League.
Oh yeah,
because of the lineup.
Yeah,
and they do, and they know how to win under pressure and at this time of year. But they got to take Game 3 because you don't want to be down 2-1 in Minnesota in 50-degree weather and having to play another one. And you won't see Verlander till Game 5, so that's where they're at.
And I love you use when you say lollygagger, what's the first thing you think of? When I hear lollygagger, I think Bull Durham, right? Because the coach, you lollygag down into the dugout, you lollygag out to the field. Anytime I hear that, I hear Bill Durham.
Frankie, I don't know where the damn saying came from, but I can tell you this: lollygag just kind of feels like. It's that guy who's way too friggin' casual. Relaxed is one thing, way too friggin' casual. So no lollygagging by the hour. I think they'll be dialed in. It should be a good pitching matchup if both pitchers are doing their thing.
Well, I know the line opened around minus 130, Minnesota's favorite at home, but I saw it down to 117. So here at South Point, it's at 117. So money's coming in on the Twins, but they won their first postseason game in 18 games. So I don't know. Right. They have a good home field advantage. Target for
Astros are. Look at the record. I didn't mean to interrupt, Frank.
No, please.
Astros record on the road. The Astros are below 500 home, and they are lights out on the road. And they usually, when they get kicked in the teeth like they did against Lopez for 7 innings, they respond. I am going to bet this game, and I am actually going to take the Astros money line and go from there. I think Astros win today because of the bats.
All right, so you've got your 5th pick from today's show on Punchlines. We got 4 from Alex. We got a Texas. We got an Astros pick from Sean Salisbury. Now, Sean, obviously people know you from football, pro football, college football. It's your love. But you also love hockey. I know you're a huge hockey guy because we talked about it all the time. Are you excited for hockey season? And who's your team again?
I am. Well, I grew up, Frank, back when I grew up in California. It was like Blackhawks, Philly, the Flyers when it was the Broad Street Bullies, the Rangers, that group. They every Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning. That was a 1 game a week on. Now you get them ad nauseum. You can buy the package and the rest of it. I've taken a liking to because we don't have a team here in Houston. As I grew up, I actually grew up a Buffalo Sabres fan because they was one of the first originals I saw. Yeah. And I loved the French Connection line with René Robert and Gilles Perreault and Rick Martin. And over the years, I still got an eye to them. But I've taken the Vegas when the Knights, their very first year we started going, and I went to their first Stanley Cup against Washington. And so I'm on them, and for good reason. They're pretty good, man. And what they've done their first few years in the league. So I am pumped for the start of hockey this week and right off the bat, and it's going to be exciting to see. I think it's the best post-game sport we have as well.
Did you play hockey, or would you strictly football, baseball? Did you play? I never played hockey.
Football, baseball, basketball, all in high school. I'll tell you what I played early on. We would put on either roller skates. We'd buy the nets, the old-school plastic hockey nets and the plastic puck. And at my elementary school, we had this long area of smooth pavement. We would put on our skates or our feet, and we'd go. You use a baseball glove as a goaltender. And we get a puck and we get nets and everything, or a tennis ball. And we used to play hockey 3 or 4 days a week. I never did it on ice, but I'm right-handed, but I play left-handed. So, yeah, I played a ton of it growing up. It just wasn't running around knocking people all over. But my love for it was at a very young age, and it's never left.
I love that. And, of course, football is where you found your most success. Now, you are a USC Trojan fan. I know that. USC is your passion, man. That's your team. I had the over in the game last week, USC, Arizona, which I needed overtime to get. But why is USC – how is Arizona hanging around in that game? And give us what your thoughts are on USC, and Caleb Williams has been amazing. But talk about your passion, Trojans, and we know we got Notre Dame this weekend too.
Yeah, I love my Trojan. And this is one of the great rivalries now, as far as national and respectful rivalries. That feeling when you walk on campus at Notre Dame, even as a Trojan. I loved playing at home, but I actually like playing Notre Dame in South Bend more, just the history, the tradition, everything with it. When you walk on Notre Dame's campus, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to this week. But you know what it is this team offensively can score from the parking lot. They'll score on anybody. Caleb Williams he is the best football player in the college world right now, and I think we all know that quarterback. And he's a game changer, thank goodness. But Frank, defensively, even though I'm a Trojan and I love them, they can't win a national title playing defense like this. And you say, how do they hang around? Colorado comes back. Arizona hangs around. Stanford was the only team they whooped. Everybody hangs around. Arizona State, I was at that game in Scottsdale. They hang around. They do not have the ability to get consistent stops. They got talent, but Alex Grinch's defense, they won't get out of the Pac-12 with Oregon and Washington. They'll score 50 on them. Yeah. So you can't keep putting pressure on your Heisman Trophy winning quarterback and Lincoln Riley to score 45 a week and hope the other team scores 42. It's going to get them eventually, hopefully not this week, but they got to shore up the defense. They're a national title contender.
Yeah.
They can't win the national title playing this defense.
And Oregon, Washington playing each other. Hopefully they'll beat each other up for you. That's going to be an amazing game too.
What a great game.
But let's get back to USC Notre Dame. So Notre Dame's favored by 2.5. Are you betting on this game? It's 2.5 and 63. 63.5 sounds low, but then Notre Dame, okay, they're not a Pac-12 team. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I'm a little the number as far as the points concerns me. If you're an overtake, we all, people all want to go bet the over, especially if you're an amateur gambler. They all like the over.
Right.
My initial thought is at some point in time, because I don't know if Notre Dame and Sam Hartman's great for them. I just see this game as like a 35-31 type game. I think it's going to be close. You're safe picking the over because I bet the over last week too. So the way their defense is, I would lean towards that. I don't know if I like the number. I still like the dog in this. I don't like the way Notre Dame's played consistently over. They had a really good game against Ohio State and lost that one. It's kind of gone a little sideways for them. The veteran quarterback, Sam Hartman, will keep them in it. But I like the Trojans on the road. I do. I think getting away from home's good for them. Yeah. I think that you're going to have their team speed, and I think Notre Dame has turf now, Frankie, if I'm not mistaken. Instead of that grass, and they let it grow. I think it's turf, if I'm not mistaken now.
I'm not sure.
I'd have to double-check. If it is, fast track. Yeah. SC's team speed's too much for Notre Dame.
Oh, wow. That's good to know. All right, so
SC wins inside 6 points. I got SC winning, though.
Okay, I like it. Let's talk about what is turf. It is turf. There you go. That's our producer, Ryan, chomping. Yeah, good job, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. Yeah, they used to let it grow up to your ankles so they'd slow it down. Ryan, thank you. You look better than all of us do with that nice coat and tie on.
Look at
on turf, too fast, too quick, man. SC's got too much team speed. They'll give up points, but I think Caleb Williams is just I think they stay undefeated after this week. It may not look pretty, but I think they win.
All right, Ryan, let's jump in. Do you have a question for Sean? Do we have any live comments for Sean?
Well, so SC's remaining schedule is at Notre Dame, at home against Utah, at Cal, at home against Washington, at Oregon, and then at home against UCLA. How can they stay in the playoff conversation?
That's a tough schedule.
How can they stay in the playoff conversation?
Well, the way they can stay in it is tell Caleb Williams to keep dressing in a phone booth. That would help. That schedule, you get one that you should win handily, and that's Cal.
Yeah, right.
Look at the schedule. You're going to face Notre Dame in the history of the rivalry. You got to deal with Utah and their physicality, who constantly wear my Trojans out at the line of scrimmage. You get Oregon, who can score like SC can. You get Washington, who can do it all. And Oregon's defense will get after you. Washington can score. And I left one out that wasn't very fun either. So the whole – I don't know – UCLA, which is our rival, and they run it, which is not good for us. And they play damn good defense at UCLA.
Yes,
Chip Kelly's team does.
Yeah.
Whole lot of unders.
If we run if SC runs the gamut, then at the end of that, they should be ranked number 2 in the country.
Yeah.
1 or 2 if Georgia. I'm dead. If they run that, because the Pac-12 is the toughest conference in football right now.
Yep.
And if you run through that with all those ranked teams, one after the other in quarterback play, and Caleb keeps going, you would have to be ranked. You would probably be the 2 or 3 seed heading into the playoff, and they would definitely be in the playoff. But then you got the Pac-12 championship.
Yeah.
After that, if they run through that gauntlet, it's like running through the AFC gauntlet of quarterbacks to get through Mahomes and Burrow when they're right. You got a tough road to set. I don't know how they're going to do it, but if they do it, I'll be a believer, even if it's 48-45 scores. But I don't see anybody in the Pac-12 going undefeated. I think it's going to be too difficult.
Even with Penix and Nix. I mean, this weekend, Washington or Oregon's going to knock each other off. I'd be remiss if we didn't talk pro football real quick. Who are you following in pro football? I know you played for the Vikings. That's why the purple shirt, I guess. Who are you following? Who's dominating? What do you like in the NFL this weekend?
Well, I follow them all, but I think that there's a lot of bad football been played in the early start of this. I do. I think it's been sloppy. And in the AFC, one week we think Buffalo's the best in Kansas City, and then the next week it's Miami. Yeah. So they got some top-heavy teams. But to me, the 2 best teams in football are I picked the 49ers to win the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. I'm still sticking with them. I love Brock Purdy, how he just makes every ordinary play, which is – what sustains great play at quarterback. And Philadelphia, they've got all the weapons. After that, Miami, I think Detroit is sneaky because they can score, and their defense has gotten better this year. And then you're going to throw the Baltimore. Cincinnati will get better. They'll hang around as Burrow gets rolling. He's always a slow starter. But to me, you're going to have to beat the 49ers and Eagles if you think you want to win a Super Bowl. And you're going to have a good supply of body bags because they play great defense as well. You saw the 49ers against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I got the 49ers as the best team. I got Philadelphia second. Then it's a combination Miami, Detroit, Buffalo, and Kansas City, your next 4.
And you know me. You know I'm a diehard Steelers fan. So opening weekend against the Niners, I was foolish enough to think the Steelers could win, and that was just pure domination. I'm like, are the Steelers that bad or are the Niners that good? It was a combination of both, as we found out with Matt Canada's offense. But the Steelers are tied for first place. I don't know how that's happened, but
it's Mike Tomlin. You know this. And T.J. Watt, like you talk about a guy who's a freak.
Yeah, that
guy's on a different planet. But Mike just knows how to get people. You talk about maximizing a coach's job to maximize the building. Mike Tomlin is as good as anybody we've ever had at doing that.
Yeah.
Kenny Pickett starting to step. They got some playmakers, and it was a huge win last week. That big play down the sidelines
George Pickens,
Pickens was huge. Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, and of course, Canada is emotionless in the booth. A lot of rumors that he didn't call the play. Kenny audibleized it. Canada just doesn't show much emotion. So listen, is there
He's taking a lot of beating from you guys. He's taking a beating from Steelers
the local
fans,
media.
man.
It's brutal. Do you have a pick for this weekend? Any game? You could get us a betting tip before we get you out of here in a couple minutes, because I want to talk about PSF before we go.
Okay, let me look at this schedule real quick, if you don't mind.
And while he's looking, I want to tell everybody about a business that Sean started. There's an app called PSF, Pro Sports Fans. You can download it on your iPhone or Android. I am actually one of the MediaCaster teams. Basically, we have a bunch of super fans doing games like the Manning Cast, which I watched all night last night because I'm fascinated by it. So me and my partner, Matt Light, we do Steeler games every couple weeks. There's 2 teams for each team. PSF we'll talk about in a second when we get Sean out of here. But, Sean, do you looked at the schedule? Do you have anything?
You want NFL or college, brother?
No, either one.
Well, then I gave you my Trojans. Let's see. There's Penn State. I'm sorry. Okay, you know what? It's a big game, and we always like to pick big games. Give me the over in the Oregon-Washington game.
Yes, I like
67.5.
Yeah.
Give me the over in that game, and I'm going to take Washington to win. And I actually think it's like a inside of 6, but over the number. I like them at -3. I'd parlay both for fun if you want that. Now, so there's my pick. As far as PSF goes, Frankie.
Yeah, PSF.
I'm so grateful to be the president of this app. Yeah, and I'm so grateful to have talent like you. It's the best fan-friendly app and one of a kind in the country. And the technology's off the charts. We got great content creators like you and teams for every sport, 24/7, covering it during the week on shows, and then the media cast every game. You can go in the chat room. We finally given, which was important to me, the fans a seat at the table for you ask questions, you go on video, audio. It's all right there. It's not linear where it's just you texting me and me texting back. So we really engage them. And I think we're on to not only a game changer. And I love it when big media companies and now investors now see it and are starting to come after us as opposed to have to us go chase them. So I think it's a really good thing, and I think we're on to something that's going to change how people do these apps and sports relationships with fans.
I have a blast, man. Me and my partner, Matt, I bring friends in. I can have up to like 6 people, right? We're all talking. This is what I'd be doing.
Inside, anyway. But you can have 5,000 in the room.
We have people
but
chatting.
talking at the same time, right? Absolutely.
It's fantastic. So PSF. So again, I'm back working with Sean Salisbury. So PSF, you can get it on. It's only on your phone, Android and iOS. PSF.
Pro Sports Fans, right?
Pro Sports Fans,
and go to Twitter and just guys, it's a free app. Just go click it and see if you like it. I think you're going to love it, and you can engage in communities with other communities in that one. And it's at PSF_app on Twitter as well. Love to have you aboard, and you can follow me at Sean Unfiltered on Twitter. And any questions you have, hit me in my inbox, and I'll be happy to answer them. And being the president's one of my favorite things over the last 30 years of this career, this company.
I love it. And he is unfiltered, and he didn't swear once, ladies and gentlemen, on the show. First time I've ever done a show with Sean where he hasn't dropped a few words that we can't use here.
You know what? You've always told me I was allowed to in the past, but until somebody tells me I can drop an F-bomb when talking about my Trojans defense.
Yeah, right.
No F-bombs here. I pretend like kids are around. There you go.
Sean, I know you're a busy man. I really appreciate you jumping in and doing this on our second episode. I'll talk to you soon. Sean Salisbury, everybody. Thanks, buddy.
Anytime. Congratulations. Keep up the great work. Love you, brother.
Thanks,
Thank
Sean.
you.
You're the best. Love you, pal.
Thank you for your time, Sean.
All right. He's the best. Sean, he's unbelievable. Hopefully we can get him back. He's got everything going. He loves every sport. Any live comments, Ryan? What do we got going here?
Well, Bob Dell wanted to know from Sean, how did he go from playing sports to being on BattleBots?
Well, I'll answer that. Sean is he's a Renaissance man. He does everything. He's been in a couple Adam Sandler movies. He was in Benchwarmers, I believe. And Sandler hired Sean to teach him how to be a quarterback for The Longest Yard. So, Sean, I will get the BattleBots next time. Sorry, Bob Del Pizzo. Bob, you've already done one. I mean, we can't give you 2.
We do have a comment from
Paul
comments? That just said PSF rocks.
Who said that?
Paul.
Oh, Paul. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Paul. I believe that's Reno Paul, who's in Reno. And he's helped out on the PSF app. You got to check it out. It's a lot of fun. Each team has we rotate games. Each team has a couple sets of media casters. It's a lot of fun. So we've had a great show. We've had a couple people in here. You and I have a bet. And we just want people to subscribe. We want people to continue to help us build punchlines. We really appreciate it. So subscribe in the live comments. Any other live comments to talk about?
Joseph Pratt says, fantastic job, Frank. And your jacket is very nice.
Joseph is a friend of mine on Instagram and Facebook. He's a big wardrobe guy. He likes to comment, and he likes to always know what kind of coat I have. I just think this is a simple black Gap coat, Joseph. And tomorrow, I am not going to be wearing a Chicago Blackhawks jersey. There's no way. The Penguins got this game.
He's going to eat those words. He's going to be wearing a Hawks jersey tomorrow.
All right, and let's just review what Alex said. So Alex tonight, she had the Predators on the road. She has a road. She has the over on the Knights game tonight, right here in Las Vegas. I mean, back-to-back nights in Vegas. You had Monday Night Football, and now the Knights hoisting the trophy, hoisting the banner. And then she also likes La Tech, and she what was the other pick she had? Oh, she likes Jacksonville State. So you guys got a lot of picks, but you haven't gotten anything from me.
She did have those current odds.
What's that?
So she has La Tech +3. That's the current line.
La Tech +3.
And then Jacksonville State +7.
Okay, those are the current odds here
side.
at the South Point Casino in Las Vegas. Coming up soon, we got baseball starting. Sean's Astros, right, and the Vikings. So there's games, there's baseball, there's hockey, there's college football. It's the greatest time of year, and we appreciate you guys jumping in on punchlines. And just to remind everybody of the bet and to clarify, I have the Penguins tonight to win. But if the Penguins win and Bedard gets 2 points, I will be wearing a Chicago. I have never worn another team's jersey in any sport. Maybe when I was a kid, I had a Dodger shirt, but I've never not worn a Pirates shirt, a Penguins hat, or a Steelers shirt or jersey. This could hurt. This could really hurt.
There's a first for everything.
Now, and by the way, that might be a prop bet you can get somewhere around too, is Bedard's points. I wonder what his points are. I know that's a good prop bet to check out.
Stations has his season points total.
Season points total for Bedard as well.
Yep, and it's set at 71.5.
71.5. You take the over on that?
I did.
You did?
I just have to. First overall pick, you got to root for the kid.
And the Penguins, I know the Penguins here at South Point, the over for total points for the Penguins is 96.5. That's a lot of points, and that's a tough division they play in. And by the way, tomorrow you want to hear about more hockey. We'll obviously talk about the Knights game. My friend Joe Bartnick, very funny comedian. Joe is originally from Pittsburgh. Not only is he a comedian, this guy is a hockey expert. You should follow Joe Bartnick, Bartnik. He does a lot of reviews for the season for Hockey Magazine. He breaks down each conference. He's going to be talking hockey tomorrow on the show. Later in the week, we have my friend Craig Shoemaker, who's one of the best comedians of all time. Craig will be on talking about Philly sports. He is a big Eagles guy. He's a big Phillies guy. He'll be here on Thursday to talk about Bryce Harper and the Eagles, who, what an end to that, or the end of the Phillies game yesterday.
Yep.
Doubled off of first base. I don't know if that's ever happened.
First time ever that an outfielder has had an assist
to end a playoff game.
Yep, double play.
Unbelievable. So exciting. And baseball, I mean, look, I'm a baseball fan. The postseason baseball is so exciting. You got to watch. And then there's the other baseball game today is, who's the other game? We got the Rangers.
Orioles.
Orioles and Rangers, yeah. And we got to pick on the Rangers. I'm taking the Rangers. I think they're going to get swept. I think the Orioles are going to get swept out of the playoffs by the Rangers.
Well, so their starting pitcher tonight is Dean Kremer.
Yeah.
Who's an Israeli American.
Yeah.
And so his family is out in Israel, and he has said that that's going to be in the back of his mind.
So a nice
he might have
some. And I know one of the Detroit Lions, his parents is over there too. I can't think of his name right now, but yeah, terrible what's going on over there. Listen, this was episode 2 of Punchlines with me, Frank Nicotero. We appreciate you watching. All our live viewers, anyone who's on, please click that subscribe button. You can come back and you can watch Vinny and Vinny and Jeff are going to be here at 3:00, right?
Yep. Not tonight.
It's Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm sorry, guys.
Thursday.
I'm the new guy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just learning the schedules. But we appreciate you guys being here. My special thanks to Sean Salisbury and the lovely Alex White for coming in. We'll see you tomorrow. All brand new show, brand new guests tomorrow on Punchlines. I'm Frank Nicotero. Good luck at the windows. Come on down to South Point. The hot dogs are only $1.50. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Go Blackhawks and the Knights.